You're a graduate of the Navy Fighter Weapons School,
Yeah, I am.
but are known as Top Gun. So
Yeah.
let me let me ask the most ridiculous question: how realistic is the movie Top Gun?
So it's funny. We used to joke, and a friend of mine who was a Top Gun instructor said this. There's two things in the original Top Gun that are true, that are very realistic. One, there is a place called Top Gun, and number two is they do fly airplanes there. Uh, Other than that, I went through in '97, class 497. And there's actually a log of every single person that's went through, kind of like SEAL training. There's a list. So people, because there's a lot of posers out there. Oh, I was a Navy SEAL. No, you weren't. Well, I went to Top Gun. You could actually go to Top Gun. And matter of fact, just to get a Top Gun patch, the real patch, you have to have gone there. So a lot of the patches you see running around are not real. The real ones are controlled. The people that make them honor that. And when you go in, they look up your name. If you want to get one, they look up your name. You just tell them, they go, okay, here, and they'll sell them to you. If you are not on the list, you ain't get no patch, because it's a pretty big deal
Yeah, it's
to
an
go through.
exclusive.
But it's, for me, probably one of the best experiences of flying, because everyone there is extremely competent. It's very, very challenging, but it's what we all signed up to do. So uh, it's just the entire group that is, when you want to be that, that level, where you go, everyone really cares and everyone really wants to be good.
Is it competitive like what was it in the movie? Or
No, it's when you go through, it's if anything, it's more of the students, and then there's the instructor side. And the instructor sides are really, they're guys that they just chose to stay up in Fallon, and it's extremely difficult job because they have a very small tolerance for not being good. So their briefs, the guys, when they give a lecture, so let's just say there's a fighter employment lecture, which is one of the hardest ones. It takes about 2 days to give the fighter employment lecture. The guy who gives the lecture goes through multiple, what they call them, murder boards, where he's scrutinized by his peers and he practices. By the time they actually stand in front of a class, they pretty much have their 250 PowerPoint slides memorized, and they don't even turn around. They just click and they know them in order. And they
wow.
repeat the same thing over. It's standardized. So they are extremely, extremely standardized when you go through the school. And there's a reason for that, because what they're doing is they're training. So when you come out of Top Gun, you're called a Strike Fighter Weapons and Tactics Instructor. Okay, so you're SFTI. When you come out of that, your job is to go usually to one of the weapons schools on the East or West Coast and train the fleet squadrons. And then you visit the squadrons and train and do upgrade rides and all that. So there's a reason that they are extremely particular when you go through the course. It is literally one of the best things, and it's not a rank based thing. Because think, oh, Navy, you can come in as like an '04 lieutenant commander. The lieutenants, the hierarchy, well, it used to be, I don't know how it is exactly today, but I imagine it's the same. The hierarchy is actually based on seniority at the school, not necessarily rank. So when the tactical decisions are made, which are based on fact and trying things out in the Fallon ranges, they set the top X number of folks that have been there seniority wise, and I mean time wise, are the ones that actually make the decision. And when the door, you may not agree, but when the door opens and everyone comes out from the staff, they all speak the same language. And it has to be that way, which is why the school has been so effective since it was founded. So it's an incredible group of individuals.
So there's a bar of excellence that that the instructors demand.
Oh, very much so. And they're held to it. So it's not hey, I'm now an instructor, so I can do what I want. There is a standard, and they have to live up to that standard. They have to, and I mean every moment of every day. So if they go someplace, if they go from Fallon and they come down and they're called site visits, where they come down and they'll come to Lemoore, California, which is where the West Coast Fighter Wing is at for the Navy. And they go around and start flying sorties with the fleet squadrons, to kind of pass on some of that knowledge. That's that same high level of standard. They can't just drop your guard because you wear the Top Gun patch, and people know that. And they wear light blue shirts. So it's pretty easy to identify them when they're out there. And then everyone else who's been through the school, including them, have the patch on their sleeve. So there's a standard that's expected when you come out of there.